our mayor, Jimmy Clyde. I had been after Jimmy to tell me about his trip to Washington. Our mayor goes to Washington. Jimmy had a great opportunity, and as much as anything, it was an opportunity to promote McGee, Simpson County, and what small cities are all about. He went to the National League of Cities in Washington, D.C. on February 7th and 8th. And on the 8th, it was a day jam-packed, and I wanted him to tell us about what you saw, what you learned, and what you thought.
It was a great opportunity, and I got this opportunity as a result of me being president of the Mississippi Municipal
Right.
And of course, this trip was financed through the National League of Cities. It didn't cost the taxpayer anything. So
we like to hear that.
We like to hear that.
Yes.
That's a free gratis trip. So basically, this was for us as the National League of Cities to tell our representatives and senators how important our cities are to our national government. Our cities are all about public safety, they're about infrastructure, and they're about our economy. So there were 20 state leaders plus the president of that organization there. So it was a jam-packed 2 days. We got there and had some briefings, and then we hit Capitol Hill on the second day. But it was a great opportunity for me to visit with our 3 representatives, and I think it was very beneficial to us, and I really enjoyed it, and I get to go back again in March to do basically the same thing.
I think it's great because anytime we can promote McGee, but also what you can learn. What did you learn from other cities?
Basically there were people from Oregon, Massachusetts, Arkansas. We're all the same, small, large, but I really enjoy telling people about McGee. When we're sitting down to a debriefing, of course, I think we got a lot to be thankful for.
Oh, really?
Yes. I mean, you're listening to people with 4,000 homeless people and crime that's just out of sight. But now we're talking really large. So a lot of it is different, but a lot of it is the same. So it's really nice to network with different officials and get to know them and meet them. And we've just got some great representatives, Senator Cochran and Senator Wicker and, Representative Harper. And they're cognizant of our needs, and it was just really great to have that one-on-one conversation with them. It means a lot to them to see you there face-to-face, and I think it was very beneficial. And we just told them briefly what our issues were. We're not asking for a handout. We're just there to tell them we want to partner with them to see our nation and our cities grow. So I think it's beneficial.
The group that was there, so they were not like cities your side, McGee's side necessarily.
No.
Because it was representatives. It just happened to be McGee because of your presidency. Right?
Exactly, right.
So
there
all
were
these
some
others,
large
right?
and some small. That's exactly right.
I imagine you did thank the Lord for what we had as compared to some of them.
That's right. So that's a fast place. Taxis everywhere, Ubers and everywhere. So I'm kind of out of my comfort zone at the 5-way stop.
I went getting on 49 is more than I can handle.
So I'm thankful. I was thankful to hit the runway coming home. So.
I bet you were, but that's a lot in one day. I looked at Jimmy's schedule, and I mean, it really started when you got there Tuesday. At most. The 7th.
I left at 2 a.m. that Tuesday morning. Right.
That's past your bedtime too.
I was scared to go to sleep because I was scared I wouldn't wake up.
They'd had to have about 10 alarms coming in to me.
Exactly.
Well, it was real interesting to see all the different things that they discussed, but I think probably one of them was the role of cities in moving America forward must have been really interesting.
Yes, the issues that we talked about was certainly the economy, was transportation, and we're probably $23 trillion behind in infrastructure, which is road and bridges, water and sewer, and broadband. I mean, we all know about broadband, and not only in the metropolitan area, but in the rural areas. Kids got to do homework. It don't matter where they live, so that's an issue. Also, the tax-exempt status on municipal bonds. That's the way you finance major projects. If you do a street bond issue, if you do a water bond issue, that's the way you finance them is through municipal bonds, and you got to make sure that those bonds are exempt, not only for the banks that buy them, but for the investors that buy them. So you want to make sure that those bonds stay tax exempt. And also an issue that we don't like to talk about a little bit, everybody likes to shop on the internet, but we know that there's no sales tax there. And so that's about $23 billion of sales tax that's out there that could go for infrastructure improvements. And just think what you could do with that. And you know, really, it's not a real level playing field for the mom and pop shop that's trying to pay taxes. That's playing, you know, and we really have concerns about that. That just make the playing field level for them, because these people really, they pay taxes, they pay sales tax, and so that's an issue. And if you look at it from the local level, you know, Amazon has agreed to start paying sales tax.
I was glad personally, because I realize it.
And you know where that's going to be, the distribution there. It's going to be for infrastructure. Some of it's going to MDOT, some of it's going to the cities, some of it's going to counties. So where you can see that money go is that the road that you drive on, or you know, some kind of improvements like that. Now, they passed the House and it's going to the Senate now. So, you know, those are some things that you could do now, and Amazon agreed to do that, and that's about $30 million for just our state.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Does that mean that anybody in Mississippi who buys from Amazon, we'll just use Amazon, it's distributed back to our state, not necessarily to our city? It goes into the state,
and then it'd be distributed, right? And I guess that's going to be from point of sale. So that's the way they figure that. And then it would go to wherever that sale was made, and it'd be a separate check. I guess I don't know how they're going to figure that. But, you know, that's a lot of money statewide.
It's a lot of money. And we need it all over our state.
Yeah. I mean, you just drive down any road, any street, whether it be a county or city or the bridges. You talk about kids on the school bus. So the infrastructure needs some improvements, and we just got to work together to try to improve that, because that's all about economic development. So, and it's a national deal too, you know, because there's some federal issues there also, and that's where we were kind of pleading our case there. And so there's some issues there, but we kind of pleaded our case. So hopefully you keep knocking on the door, somebody will open it.
They'll remember you.
Maybe so. I hope so. But it was worth the trip. It's just a beautiful place. The temperature was 70 degrees, but it was snowing the next day. So
sounds like Mississippi, doesn't it?
It does. But I was wonderful and just so grateful for the opportunity and blessed. And so I get to go again in March, again at no cost to the citizens, and we'll again plead our case, and hopefully, you know, something good will come out of it. So, but we do have some great people in Washington from Mississippi, and we. Again, we'll see if we can get some help.
I think it's a great opportunity, and I tell you, Jimmy, I'm so glad you're the one that went.
Well,
how could we have worked this out?
I'm getting to be a good salesman here at the end.
As you know, Jimmy's retiring, so you may be selling.
Maybe I can sell Avon or something.
There you go. Go ahead. But anyway, this was at the National League of Cities in Washington, D.C., and as Jimmy said, he'll be going back, so we'll want another report when he gets back. But what an opportunity this is for our city, our taxpayers, and for Jimmy to go and to be able and to be in those people's face. And you know as well as I do that that's what it takes. Looking at them, seeing them, and talking to them. I hope you'll have a good day, and we appreciate your coming.